Welcome, beautiful people. Welcome to yet another video. I hope you guys are feeling good. I am glad to be back with another video. Match week 15. Here we go in terms of the Premier League. Now I am excited to see what goes on in terms of this weekend's football. I know I'm a bit late, but better late than never. So I'll be diving into match week 15. What will be my prediction? Who will I expect to be on top? Of course, this is who I feel will be. This is how I feel the games will go. I might be jinxing some of them, but in terms of the Premier League table and how the teams have been performing is what I'll be basing my prediction on. Now, in terms of the Club World Cup, yes, a lot has been going on in terms of the discussion, but the trophy is here. As much as there's a lot of conversation around it, of course, it will be happening during the summer transfer window. So there's a lot of discussion about the player welfare, and of course this is normally when the summer transfer window happens. So it's going to be interesting to see how the players actually perform in terms of this first Club World Cup. I'm excited in terms of the groups are out. In terms of the fixtures are out. I'll be diving into that into a more detailed video in the course of the week, so make sure you look out for that. But as for today, we'll be focusing on the Premier League. Yes, we are having weekend football, and it doesn't get any better than this. So if you're new to the channel, please make sure you like the video, share it with your family and friends. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the post notification bell. You'll be notified every time I upload a video. I'll be diving into some Chelsea news first, then I'll be diving into my prediction, and of course the FIFA World Cup at the end. So once again, if you're new, like the video. In terms of some Chelsea news, now we have Sonia Bonpasta. Yes, I decided to start with the female side, with the women's side this time round. In terms of the women's side, we have Bonpasta, who has won Manager of the Month for WSL for 2 months consecutively. I have to catch up on the women's side. Bear with me, guys, I'll get to it. But in terms of also Player of the Month, we have Guro Ruiteg. So it is great to have Chelsea having these wins. Of course, it's always a morale boost. Then in terms of Goal of the Month, it goes to Caicedo for the volley against Man United, where we had a 1-1 draw. I mean, it was a great goal if you ask me. Then in terms of the injured players, we have our captain, we have Reece James, then we have Fofana, who's also out, and we have Mykhailo Mudryk, Misha, who is out due to sickness. So those are the players who are out. So in terms of my expectations for the game tomorrow, of course, in terms of our last game against Southampton, where we had a 5-1 win, yes, a 5-1 win, that puts us second in terms of the Premier League. It has been a minute since we have been second, so it's great to have us back in the Premier League. Of course, we're just I know Liverpool are ahead of us with quite some points. I mean, they have 35 points, but then again, we are second, so I'm expecting Chelsea to at least keep up with the momentum and of course win the next games as much as possible, so that we are able to, you know, dust off Arsenal. Arsenal are not giving us breathing space, but we'll have our moments. So in terms of the expected players for our game tomorrow against Tottenham, this is who I feel, or who I think will start tomorrow. I'm expecting a 4-3-3. I'm expecting a 4-3-3 formation. In terms of the players, in terms of the Southampton game, they were rotated, but in terms of this game, shall we have the same players, or shall we also have another rotation? So in terms of my starting 11, I'm expecting a 4-3-3 formation with our number 1 goalkeeper in goal. I'll be having Robert Sanchez in goal. Then in terms of the back four, I will be having Disasi, Tosin, and I'll be having Colwill. Yes, I'm expecting a rotation. Then in terms of the midfield, I'll be having Enzo, Caicedo, and Romeo Lavia. Then in terms of my forwards, I will be expecting to have, there's a bit of friction between him and Madueke, but Enzo Maresca mentioned that he just wants him to be better. But I don't think it's anything serious. Madueke was part of the training, so I'm not expecting him to start. But in terms of the forwards, I'll be expecting to have Pedro Neto, Cole Palmer, then I'll be having Nicholas Jackson. So that is in terms of my forwards. So in terms of my expectations for the game tomorrow, I don't expect it to be an easy game. Don't get me wrong. Yes, we know how we feel about Tottenham, but we cannot underestimate them. They still have a good team. They still have good players, and I'm expecting an interesting game tomorrow. But in terms of my score prediction, while I finish off in terms of my preview, before I jump onto some more news in general, I'm expecting Chelsea to at least have a win. If we keep a clean sheet, even better. But But in terms of my score prediction, if we concede a goal, at least let us win the game with a high number of goals. I mean, I'm not expecting the same play as the Southampton game, but I'm expecting at least a win. A win should definitely do good for us in terms of the Premier League, and of course, in terms of the match week 15. Of course, some interesting fixtures are up ahead, but then again, I'm not expecting it to be an easy game. So a win for us will definitely be a morale boost, and I'll be on the lookout to see how the game goes. So in terms of my match week 15 prediction, now unfortunately or fortunately, the Everton versus Liverpool game has been postponed. So currently, in terms of Everton versus Liverpool, the last time they met, Everton actually did beat Liverpool with a 2-0 win. So I'm actually rooting for Everton, don't get me wrong, but as I said in my previous video, Liverpool are currently just cruising. They're just in their own field. They're just flanging. So in terms of this game, yes, I am rooting for the underdogs here. I'm expecting, I hope Everton can actually step up in this game, but I don't think Liverpool will be giving them an easy way out. So a draw for me would actually suffice. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. As I mentioned, it has been postponed due to adverse weather conditions. But then again, in terms of Liverpool, Jota and Alisson are back, so it's going to be interesting to see how it actually goes. So I am expecting, yes, this is my prediction for match 15. Everton versus Liverpool. I hope for a draw. If both teams could lose, it would actually be great. But yeah, I'm rooting for Everton here. But with Ancelotti, they have been doing pretty well. So yeah, it's going to be a tough time for Everton. But yeah, I'm still rooting for Everton. So in terms of the next game, Aston Villa versus Southampton. Southampton are coming from a loss, and Aston Villa are currently mid-table. So I'm expecting Aston Villa to have this win. In terms of Brentford versus Newcastle, I'm expecting a draw. In terms of Brentford versus Newcastle, a 2-2 draw will be what I'm predicting. In terms of Crystal Palace versus Man City are coming from a win, so they're coming with a bit of more confidence. So I'm expecting a 3-1 win for Man City. In terms of Man United versus Nottingham Forest have been doing great. They're actually above Man United in terms of the Premier League table. Man United are coming from a loss in terms of their game against Arsenal. So Nottingham Forest, I'm expecting Nottingham Forest to give Man United a tough time. But then again, it will not be a clean sheet if you ask me. In terms of this game, I'm expecting a 3-2 win for Nottingham Forest. In terms of Fulham versus Arsenal, I just want Arsenal to lose, yeah? I'm rooting for Fulham. I mean, Fulham have been doing pretty well, but then again, Arsenal are currently third. So then again, yeah, I'm rooting for the underdog in this game. So I really do hope that Fulham gets a 2-1 win. In terms of Ipswich versus Bournemouth, Ipswich had a win in terms of their last game, a 2-0 win. So perhaps a draw for both teams. I mean, they're currently in the bottom half of the Premier League table. So a 1-1 draw for me would suffice for this game. In terms of Leicester versus Brighton, 2-2 draw is how I feel the game will go. In terms of Spurs versus Chelsea, as I said, it will be great to keep a clean sheet. If we keep a clean sheet, even better for us, but if not, I hope we're able to win with lots of goals. Perhaps a replay of Southampton. I don't know, let's see how it goes. So a 3-0 win is what I'm predicting for Chelsea against Spurs. And finally, in terms of Wolves versus West Ham, Wolves have not been having a pretty good season. They're currently in the bottom, I think 5. Yes, they're currently in the Premier League table. They're currently in the bottom 5. So I'll be on the lookout to see how the game goes. So I'm expecting West Ham to give them a tough time. Don't expect Wolves to leave the game unscathed. 2-1 win for West Ham is what I'm going for in terms of the Club World Cup. It has been a topic for a while now, and I know I'm here to cover it, but I'll be doing a detailed video as I mentioned earlier in the video. Groups are out. The stadiums that the players will be performing are out. So it's going to be interesting to see, because now the FIFA Club World Cup will be happening. It will be happening during the summer transfer window, and it's going to be interesting to see how players who are supposed to be on rest, in terms of the player welfare. This topic has been circulating around for a while now. This is the time that the players should be resting, but they will be occupied with the Club World Cup. But can I just take a second to appreciate how beautiful, how amazing, how incredible this trophy looks? I hope I'll be able to give it out one day. A girl can dream. But in terms of the fixtures, now in terms of the teams, I'll just go through them very quickly. In terms of Group A, we have Palmeiras, Porto, Al Hilal, and Inter Miami. Then in terms of Group B, we have PSG, Atletico Madrid, Botafogo, and we have Seattle Sounders. In terms of Group C, we have Bayern Munich, Auckland City, Boca Juniors, and Benfica. Now, in terms of Group D, this is where Chelsea is, and of course, we'll be having some players reuniting, and it's going to be interesting to see how it actually goes. I'll definitely be on the lookout for that. So, in terms of Group D, we have Flamengo, ES Tunis. We have Chelsea, and we have Club Leon. Then in terms of Group E, we have River Plate, we have Urawa River Plate, we have Urawa Red Diamonds, Monterrey, Inter Miami. In terms of Group F, forgive me if I murdered the name, Fluminense. Then we have Borussia Dortmund, Ulsan HD, and Mamelodi Sundowns. Then in terms of Group G, we have Man City, Wydad, Al Ain. We have Al Ain, and we have Juventus. Then finally, in terms of Group H, we have Real Madrid, Al Hilal, Patria, and FC Salzburg. So in terms of the fixtures are already out. Now the group stage will be happening from June 15th to June 26th. In terms of the round of 16, we have it will be happening from June 28th to the 1st of July. Quarterfinal will be happening from the 4th of July to the 5th of July. Semifinals will be happening on the 8th to the 9th of July. Then finally, the final will be on the 13th of July. As I mentioned, this is also during the summer transfer window. It's going to be interesting to see how this works out. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see. So in terms, as I mentioned, it's gonna be a very tight schedule, if you ask me. But in terms of the general year or the general calendar on how it will go on May 25th, we have the Premier League ending. Now May 28th, we have the Conference League final. The Champions League final will be on May 31st. The Club World Cup begins on June 15th. It ends in New York, New York City, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. You can't make this stuff up, guys. I'm serious. Then we go back to the Premier League August 16th. So now, in terms of preseason, how will that go about? And there's just a lot that has to unfold, but I can't wait to see how it actually. I can't wait. In terms of athletics, that World Athletics 2025 is out. I also will be covering that, so please be on the lookout. Please subscribe if you haven't. I mentioned I'll be covering the FIFA Club World Cup fixtures in a more detailed video in the course of the week. So if you're new again, please subscribe. So perhaps I'll just mention in terms of the first few games. Now we have Al Hilal versus Inter Miami for the first game on June 14th. Then PSG versus Atletico Madrid on June 15th. Then Chelsea versus Club Leon also happening on Chelsea versus Club Leon happening on June 16th. So I know I'll definitely be watching that, and I'll give you my feedback on how the game will actually go. So in terms of the stadiums, we have Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Then we have in Claremont, we have Bank of America Stadium. In Cincinnati, we have the TQL Stadium. Los Angeles, we have the Rose Bowl Stadium. Miami, we have the Hard Rock Stadium. Nashville, we have the Gode Stadium. In New York, New Jersey, we have the MetLife Stadium. Now in Orlando, we have the Camping World Stadium. In terms of Philly, we have Lincoln Financial Stadium. Then in terms of Seattle, we have Lumen Field Stadium. And finally, in terms of Washington DC, we have the Audi Field Stadium. So that is in terms of what is going on in the football world and the sports world in general. Yes, this is a very detailed video, and if you watch it to the end, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, I'll keep it short. Yeah, I know I've engaged you guys for a long time in this video, but the football world is changing and I'm here for it. So if you're new, please make sure you like the video, share it with your family and friends. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the post notification bell. You'll be notified every time I upload a video. I will be covering the World Athletics, of course. It will be happening in terms of next year. They're already out in terms of the fixtures of next year. We have relay, we have so many things to cover. So yes, then again, this is your sports channel or your football channel or your athletics channel, however you want to see it. So again, if you're new, like the video, share it with your family and friends. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the post notification bell. You'll be notified every time I upload a video. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.